Well, when we commit to a spiritual journey and we begin to slow down and really turn towards our full experience, we recognize that consciousness comes back for everything. And what I mean by that is everything that went unconscious over the course of our lives comes back up to be welcomed back into the folds of this life. And today, our exploration will be around feeling uninspired. Another way of saying that is bored, unmotivated, when things feel dull or flat. Sometimes people use the word blah. What happens in you when that state moves through? As with many unpleasant and unknown states, we tend to turn away from them. We may judge ourselves for being in that particular state. Some of us may distract ourselves. Some of us may just go back to bed. And all of these things are fine. But what I'd like to do today as a community is to bring that state that I'm calling uninspired, but it could be, there are many other words for it. Apathy is another one. And to explore it together, to explore the territory, to bring kind of a friendliness to it, to let go of what we might have been conditioned to think about, attune to that thing that you might call apathy or bored, uninspired, unmotivated. And likely it will begin to evoke certain feelings in your body, kind of a draining of energy, perhaps. And we're going to cooperate with the whole thing. We're going to assume that this state, just as all other states do, is a way for the body to come back into natural balance. So it's not in the way, it is the way to a greater connection with ourselves and our true nature, and with the inspiration that we so desire. So we're meeting it just as it is. So perhaps it is a lower kind of energy feel in the system. You might feel it more in certain parts than others, maybe the arms, maybe the legs, maybe the belly. You may notice that gravity feels particularly strong when you're in this place of unmotivation, apathy. And so just let that be. Feel that pull. Perhaps it's wanting to pull you and put you more in direct contact with the earth. So try not to resist it. Let it bring you down. Let it help you to land in this moment. And maybe the lack of energy that arises in this state is from a tendency to fight, to battle, to resist. And all of these things take energy. And so as you let yourself let go of trying, of resisting, let yourself go through that phase of just feeling kind of flat. There may also be some thoughts that arise, some common thoughts that arise when the state moves through for you. Maybe memories of certain times in your life. And that's okay. Just let them come, let them go. We don't need to engage with them. But we're just acknowledging that the mind will have its opinions and its viewpoints and its memories and its biases. So we can acknowledge that without believing it or not believing it. We're just letting it be, so to speak. Notice how your breath feels. Maybe already, as what has happened for me, as a sigh comes in, a kind of a letting go. And there's no doubt that life is asking for surrender in this and all states. And that may come with sighs, yawns, deeper breaths. And they seem to come naturally when we just open to the energy that we are exploring here and that we call various things like dullness and uninspired, unmotivated. Maybe fear comes up that you'll never kind of make it through to the other side of this. So allow that to be here. Fear again is simply a four-letter word that is describing an inner state. And you'll often notice that it's accompanied by sensations of density in certain parts of the body, almost like you're kind of bumping up against a certain wall. And that wall may well be a place of possibility, a place of expanded perspectives. So lean into that wall, allow yourself to open to that. And there's a lot of conditioning around productivity in our culture, and a lot of displays of productivity on social media, and we can tend to compare ourselves. We can tend to fall into external expectations. And so these very ingrained beliefs may also come into question when we open with kindness and curiosity to this state of uninspired. What would it be to simply allow yourself to do nothing for this moment? And perhaps you get little kind of flavors of beauty and the fullness of that, of doing nothing. That even though it's nothing, there is this kind of fullness as long as the mind doesn't come in and evaluate. And perhaps as we collectively visit this state together, there feels to be more relaxation around it, more openness. Notice any changes in your energy level. Maybe you begin to feel a little more buoyant. I'm certainly noticing that in the field myself. And we can collectively attune to this. Maybe these uninspired, flat states are an invitation to shift from doing to being. At some point, when the resistance dissolves through this willingness to bring a more global attention to this state and all states, at some point, it all begins to sort of fade, and the dominant experience is one of presence and spaciousness. And so I invite you to rest there for the remaining of our time together, to rest in and as awareness, as all states are allowed to come and go in their own time and in their own way. As the state of uninspired and apathy and dull, flat begins to shift in the light of our awareness, it's very likely that other states will be open to, will be revealed. For example, I'm noticing in the field right now impatience. So if that's your experience as well, know that that is part of this process. As we allow one state to be as it is, it will reveal states that lie just beneath it. And that may have been one of the ways in which we control and manage other states. So oftentimes there's many different kind of feeling tones blended together, and as we open one up, other layers will reveal themselves. And it's the same principle. This too has a right to be. And see if you can just feel the stillness and the presence in the midst of the coming and going.